You came on as a consultant out of the gate, and then took on a bigger role in 01 when Dad passed away. Is that how you would describe it? How would you describe your? I want to tell me how you would describe your role at DEI from the time you got there through probably around 03, 04. There were times when it felt like there were times when you were always a good voice of reason. I could walk in your office and you could make sense of any kind of uncertainty or turmoil or disagreements, no matter who it was with, right?
Yeah.
And I remember your shop being down the hall from Richie's and Ty's, whoever the GM was at the time. And there were times when who was running, who was the GM? There was
Ty.
Yeah.
Ty.
But there was some times when that was difficult. Ty's been here and talked about how things were hard with Teresa sometimes, and he was put in some bad situations.
After your dad's passed?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. But you seem to always kind of be like somebody that could kind of see how this could go good if we all do X, Y, and Z. That sucks, but this is good, and this is good, and let's do, and so I would like to hear what you felt like your role was, and how you feel like that all kind of played out. I mean, I know when you got there, Dad's alive, everything. We got this vision.
Yeah.
He's going to hire all, if Dad walked up to most anybody in the garage and said, hey, you want to come over here, they were going to come, right? He was going to get the best people for all of us.
He was on the roof of your shop when they brought the heating and air units in with a helicopter, and he's up there, no nothing, just, cowboy boots and a snap button shirt, and I mean, he was Dale Earnhardt, but I don't know. I saw people cry a lot over your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a lot of people say they didn't think they could go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I'm not part of the family. I haven't been here a long time. Love the guy. Gonna miss the heck out of him. But we have to keep doing what we have to do. And that's when I just tried to round everybody up, not rah-rah kind of stuff, but just to, make sure everything went to the wind tunnel and make sure this was right and that was right. And we had to, we knew what we were doing. All of our electronic stuff worked right, and the cars ran good, and we had good pit stops. And Ty was a lot of part of that until your dad passed. And then Ty spent a lot of time being frustrated with Teresa. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he was. I'm not picking on Ty. I think it wasn't. I feel like it was a bad day when Ty left.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought Ty was.
Ty said as much.
Yeah.
Ty said as much after Dale. I mean, I think his words were just. It felt like they lacked a leader.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what his role was. Like am I supposed to be? Nobody kind of knew.
I think Mike's in a bad situation right here because neither one of us, I think, are ones that are going to point a finger at anybody, right? Nobody. But
I understand that.
No, it was nobody. Yeah, it was definitely nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that well, let me, before I sit there and try to decide what I think, how would you characterize the time after 2001? What is it that when you think back to those tumultuous years, what is it that we don't know about that? Like, I mean, we all have our vantage points of what happened with, all the way through 2004, 2005, 2006. But like, what is it that stands out to you in terms of the challenges that DEI as a company had? And then what was your role in that? Like, how did you,
I just felt like we'd been cast adrift. We're just out here floating, hoping a boat comes by and picks us up, And Teresa had a group of ladies that she really enjoyed working with. They trusted each other, and it was her and Judy and another lady. And Teresa was, I would say the biggest problem I had was that Teresa didn't make decisions in a timely manner.
Yeah, it took a long time for things to come through.
It took a long time.
Yeah. And a lot of stuff we needed a yes or a no. Today, when it was going to, you get 2 weeks or something.
And that's just racing.
Yeah.
What I mean? You got to go. I mean,
it's fast business.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it at the time. But after sitting down and talking to you and talking to Ty and Tony Jr. or anybody else that was a part of it, it's really pretty sensational that we were able to have the success that we had.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
Because like you say, we lost our rudder, we lost at sea, all that, and it had every chance and every opportunity to fail, and for everybody to lose hope. Right? Yeah. We lost hope.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it says a lot to all the individuals involved. You, Ty, everybody that had a critical and managerial style role, crew chiefs, car chiefs, people, anybody that had real, skin in the game, being able to, without Dad being able to kind of be the bumper for the alley, all those different personalities, right? All finding
different
some
backgrounds, different specialties,
some synergy that put us on a good path. In 2004, if I had any damn,
is that when we should have won a championship with you?
Should have won it.
But didn't the kid from Missouri,
Carl,
didn't he turn you down the backstretch at Atlanta?
I'll take a little responsibility for that, but
I won't because
me neither.
Because I was spotting.
No.
He drove in the back of us, and then we broke the rear end yoke at Martinsville.
Yes,
and those two things together kind of.
And then you cussed in Victory Lane at Talladega, and they docked you points for that.
Yeah, but still, 6 wins for me. I thought incredible year for any team, right? So I was. And we come out of that year, and I'm sitting. I still don't know how this is happening, or how this happened, or how I asked for this to happen. But I remember sitting in Richie's office, going.
Was Ty gone?
Yeah, Ty's gone. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in Richie's office. Me and Tony Jr. I don't remember what happened the week before, but we get the Homestead, and we're racing to finish third in points. Like we got a chance to run third, right? If we do everything right.
Pre-chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, I think you won at Phoenix the week before.
We did.
You won at Phoenix the week before. Coming off a win, naturally.
Coming off a win. We get the Homestead, and Junior's in a mood, and so am I. And we're in practice, and I can't figure this freaking track out. They just put the variable banking in. It used to be flat, and it was fun. I didn't like the new Homestead. I love it now, but back then you didn't run the fence. And I couldn't figure this thing out. And I couldn't get the car to go fast. We were struggling in practice, and he was basically like tired of my shit. And we quit literally in a matter of an hour, went from starting the day like any other crew chief or car chief driver combo to not even wanting to I'm not going up in that truck to even see this hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were so mad at each other by the time the morning practice was over with. Remember the 2-hour practice before qualifying?
Mm-hmm.
We were so mad at each other. We couldn't stand to look at each other. And probably similar to some of the things that you experienced. I was immature, didn't realize I couldn't see how to handle that better, and was too hard-headed to handle it in a better way. We go through the whole weekend, and we leave the racetrack, and we get home, and I sit down with Richie, and he's like, "We got to do something, man. This can't continue. I think we should, we've talked about the idea of switching to teams," and I'm like, "That's a good idea. That. This shit." I'm like, "You damn right. I'm gonna prove them. I'm gonna prove to Tony Jr. and Tony Sr. I can go with somebody else and do just as good." Like, I wish that somebody would have grabbed me and said, "Do you know what the hell heat season you just had? Are you sure you know what the hell? You have no clue what you're talking about."
Yeah, it was a huge surprise.
Yeah, and I was all for it, no question. And it took me. I realized pretty early in that first year that I'd made a really big mistake. Pete lasted about 10 races.
Yeah.
Did you come right in? How did all that happen?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I do.
What happened?
Well, yeah, it was 11 races.
I know
with
Pete was gone.
and he was gone, and then you took over as crew chief then. But hold up, are you saying you were completely unaware of what happened at Homestead? Because you seemed surprised by what he was saying, like this friction that he and Tony Jr. had. And you said you were surprised when they made the off-season change or like suggesting it. But were you unaware of that whole thing?
I'm sure I was aware of it, but in the past, it went away really quickly.
It worked itself out.
Yeah. It's just those guys.
That's fair.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
I remember you couldn't drive at Darlington because you weren't a good race car driver, and the kid ain't worth a damn. And it turned out I had a broken axle.
That's right.
And I remember Junior walking through the shop holding the broken axle over his head. Like, hey, buddy, look at this.
I can
don't
drive.
believe anybody can drive this thing. You know, because so it was, I'm not saying it was common, but it wasn't, you wouldn't go, oh, man, we got to step in right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So then before we get into the crew chief stuff from 2005, then in the off season, you say you were surprised that this was even being suggested. But did people even seek your opinion in this, or did you have nobody did?
Well, when I was told it was going to happen, my first question was, "Have you talked to Junior?" Oh yeah, he's 100% for it.
Yeah.
Which taking it out of context, you could say that, you know, but did anybody say, Junior, come here for a minute, you know, let's go ride on the farm or go fishing or something.
That would have been nice.
You know? Yeah.
I didn't think I needed that ride. You
Well,
know, in my mind, I was so lost and sure that I knew what the I was doing. But
Ty would have taken you on that ride.
yeah, you're probably right.
Ty Norris, yeah.
So
Ty would have taken him on that ride.
he would have told me not to do this.
Get in the truck. Come on, we're going to knock over. It's snowing. We're going to knock over some mailboxes, or we're going to go drink beer. We're going to go fishing or something. And he would have, June, come on, man. You know.
Did you have a gut feeling of what was going to happen with this change? Or were you hopeful that maybe they're right, this is going to work out great, and Michael and the Uries are going to be fantastic, and Dale and Pete Rondeau?
Well, as I remember it, I think Slugger was the first choice. Slugger Labby.
Oh yes.
Oh, is it?
That's true.
And I said, hey, man, you know, I remember him coming into Richie's office, and Richie talked to him and said, hey, you're the guy. You're going to be Junior's guy. And he's like, I said, man, we got a lot of work to do, you know, because I really don't know what goes on in the 8 shop that much. Out of respect for Tony and Tony Jr., I wasn't going to go bashing in on their deal. The first day I came to work at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, my goal was there were some people that basically grew up with and under Dale Earnhardt. And I'm not going to be some smarty pants comes in here with shiny shoes on telling you guys what you're doing wrong, you know. So I kept that the whole time. And so we'll get Slugger. Okay. And Slugger said, because I just didn't understand what they had, you know, and they had some really nice, cool stuff. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know it. Slugger said, yeah, he said, I'm taking a couple weeks off and going skiing, but when we get back, we'll get after it. And I went, oh, and he left. And I said, all right, man. And he left. And Richie said, what do you think? I said, I'm not sure that's the guy. If I had, you would, it's Dale Jr., guys. It's DEI. You know, if they said, look, you got to dig a trench from Junior's double wide across the street under Highway 3 to get into work every morning, you'd start shoveling. You know, I mean, and I love Slugger, and I hope he doesn't look at this and go, man, that guy just run me in. Not at all. Slugger had the right attitude. I had the wrong attitude.
Hey, if you like that video, you'll love the entire podcast, the Dale Jr. Download. It's available on all major podcast platforms.